because my dog is a pain in the tush. However, I'm hoping this is helpful. Hi everybody! So I asked the other day on Facebook if there are any photography related videos that folks would like to see, and there were a lot of requests specifically for iPhone photo and video tutorials, so I figured I would start with that. The first thing we're going to talk about today is light, and some of what I'm going to talk about is going to be pertinent whether you're using an iPhone, an Android, a digital SLR camera, any type of camera, because you need good light in order to produce good photos. So the struggle a lot of times if you're using your cell phone is that you're not adding any external lighting like I would be doing when I'm on a wedding, for instance, with my flashes. So it's a little more important that you look for really good light. So a lot of times if you try to book a portrait session with a photographer, they're going to try to book that session for either just after the sun comes up early in the morning or just before the sun sets later at night. And the reason for that is because of where the sun is on the horizon, you get a nice soft light. If you're looking for a time of day to take the kids out for pictures or do what I was doing and take my dog out for pictures, then you might want to try that early morning or late evening time frame, because you'll just have a nice soft light, and the phone will be able to capture pretty much just what you're seeing. One thing that I specifically see a lot of people struggle with iPhone photos is when the sunlight is behind their subject and it's really, really bright. And so I'm going to go through, I've got some screen recordings of pictures that I took of Zuko, my dog, who is probably the least cooperative model on the planet despite using treats. But you'll see through some of these pictures. So when you position your subject to where they're all in shade, but your background, the sky, water, whatever it might be, is really, really bright, the phone can't balance the two of those things. It can't balance the dark shadow on your subject and then the really bright background. There is something you can do about that though. So if you just tap on your subject's face on your photo, tap it once, and then press your photo down and slide up, that's going to make your subject get brighter and brighter. Now it's going to make the rest of your image get brighter and brighter as well, so you might lose some of that pretty blue color in the sky, but you'll be able to see your subject a little bit better. So that's one thing that you can do. You can also drag that slider down if your subject is too bright. Another option for doing photos outside where you have parts of the picture that are really, really bright, parts that are really, really dark, is to use HDR. So up on the top right corner of the screen, you'll see a little button that says HDR, not button, just a little option that says HDR. So if you just tap on that, what that's going to do is basically your phone is going to try to salvage the darkest parts of the pictures and the brightest parts of the pictures. So you'll see in this picture, like, Zuko's body is a little bit brighter than he was in the original photo, but then the sky also has a little more detail. You can see the clouds more and the color in the sky more. So that's what the HDR feature is helpful for. It's also really great for any landscape photos that have kind of the same situation, those really bright spots and then those really dark spots. So another thing I'll see people do is they'll stand in the shadow of something because the sun is really bright, and that causes that same problem where you're really dark and your background is really bright. So you'll see in this series of pictures with Zuko, I just pulled him a little bit out of that shady spot, and he stood out so much more in the photo as compared to when he was in the shade, and the camera is trying to capture like all of the blue sky and the sunlight and the water and the lake. So if you're photographing people, that's obviously a challenge because now your people are going to be squinting. So if it's appropriate and it makes the picture better, you can always try wearing sunglasses to cover up those squints if you really want to preserve kind of the whole environment and your people at the same time. So I hope these were helpful. I'll be back again in a couple days with some more tips about iPhone photography, photography for your business, and getting out of auto mode on your digital SLR camera. If you have any other suggestions, let me know, okay? Thanks. Bye.